Patrick had concluded his conversation with Jeff just moments before the MC went into his introduction. Now he took his time putting out his cigarette and rising from his chair. He adjusted something in his breast pocket and gave Persephone a quick wink at the same time. Then he stiffly patted Jeff's shoulder, which made Jeff's tits jiggle a bit, and he was gone. Persephone missed him immediately. When Patrick was seated next to her, he had blocked Persephone's view of Mark, but she could see him now. Sitting in the corner near the entrance, he was trying to busy himself with a tattered X-Men comic book. How Mark could read anything in those dim lights was beyond Persephone's comprehension. He probably used the comic book as his prop in order to be successfully antisocial without getting his butt kicked. But if he really was trying to read that damn raggedy-ass comic book in the low light, then no wonder Patrick had gotten up and came over to Persephone's side to sit and wait to be called. Jeff wasn't talking, but he did giggle a little. He leaned over in Mark's direction and whispered, "What you reading?" "Hello, everybody." On stage, Patrick's voice sounded self-assured and upbeat. A few people in the audience could be heard shouting out their hellos. Persephone wished she could see what was happening out front, but that was impossible, since both professional and amateur comics were restricted to this room if they were to perform. Rule number 8. There was what seemed to her an uncomfortable pause. Then she heard loud applause. Just when she thought maybe Patrick had a magic act, the unmistakable sound of a harmonica being played well came screaming through the room. Patrick played straight-up blues on his harmonica, and the crowd was loving it. After a few bars on the harmonica, he paused, and in a blind blues singer drawl, he said, "I wants to sing for y'all." He dramatically cleared his throat, then began, "It's gots to be a big fat woman," he started, sounding just like B.B. King. "Say I love the way she makes me feel." There was more harmonica now, sounding just right. The crowd cheered and whistled, then quieted to listen. "I got me a big fat woman. I say I love the way she feels." There was more powerful harmonica riffs and more of the audience clapping and cheering him on. "Man, ex-boy, what you want with that big fat woman? I say least I know her titties real. Oh, yeah!" The crowd went spastic. Patrick was good. No, correction. Patrick was damn good. And he was going to be a hard act to follow. Persephone now dreaded that she didn't go up first. After about 10 minutes more of Patrick's crazy man blues, Persephone decided her favorite was the slow blues rendition of the Phil Collins song Susu Studio. Patrick performed it with harmonica as if John Lee Hooker himself had done the song as a cover tune. Persephone found herself laughing out loudly, along with Jeff, who was near hysterics by now with his goofy laughter. The crowd seemed to love whatever Patrick said, sang, or did. Persephone checked her slim gold Longines wristwatch and saw that Patrick was running well over the allotted time. But what fool would dare stop him? "It won't happen without a revolt from this audience," Persephone thought. This couldn't be his first time. He was too polished and so sure of himself. She wondered what exactly he was doing here. She'd never heard of Patrick Pulaski before, and she always took pride in picking out the breakthrough comedians she would spot on the club circuit or the many different television showcases. But if he just kept at this guy would really go places. Persephone had made that same prediction of the comic Tim Allen, and he soon had a big, well deserved HBO special. It hadn't been too long ago that Persephone had some friends caught his act over at B's Comedy Kitchen. Persephone noticed Mark, still with that damn X-Men prop, was hunching his shoulders up and down, probably trying to suppress his laughter. Just, just as Persephone's watch clock Patrick at a little over 25 minutes, Patrick ended his routine by thanking the audience and saying goodnight. Let's hear it again. The MC was back at the microphone. His voice was not masking his surprise. Hey, that's Patrick Pulaski, ladies and gentlemen. A young man that, frankly, well, I wish I were a lot nicer to backstage. Damn it! The MC mocked a confession. Yes, good old Patrick Pulaski from Hamtramck. Yeah, the Pulotskis are neighbors to the Polanskis, who stay across the streets from the Powitskis. The audience was actually laughing and clapping, and the MC tried to milk it even more. Yeah, that's right. And they all have to call up one another to come screw in a light bulb. The audience exploded. Persephone was astonished at how quickly they turned. Wasn't it just seconds ago that the same audience was being entertained by the dumb Pollock? Personally, Persephone felt that any ethnic joke was potentially exploitative, but the Polish jokes seemed to be the ones most exchanged amongst her white co-workers when she worked at the bank. The only good the only thing good The only thing good Persephone could gather from the jokes was that they depicted a European race as more as being bred mental handicaps, and in her opinion, that shot the race propaganda of the bell curve theory straight to hell from where it came. The MC paused to savor his laughs, then continued. Our next comic comes to you from Warren, Michigan. He's new to the comedy circuit, so let's make him feel welcome, people. Put your hands together for Mark Casey. The MC could again be heard clapping along with the audience. Mark Casey, come on down. Good luck, Mark, Persephone tried to whisper to the exiting comedian, but he didn't give her as much as a glance as he exited the room. Persephone noticed Mark had left his comic book on his chair, and she was about to tell him that, but he was already out there. After a few long moments, she heard, Hello, my name is Mark. As he began, his voice was a deep, slow, monotone drone. The microphone then gave off a nasty screech of feedback that nearly jarred the teeth. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought this thing was a harmonica, Mark said, still in that dragging voice. Hey, sorry it took so long for me to get out here, but I was in the John, taking a shit. A few chuckles could be heard from the audience. And Jeff, that reminds me, would someone please tell the management guys that we need more toilet paper in the ladies' room? Persephone could hear more people laughing now, and the Kotex dispenser is empty as well. Now people were definitely laughing, and some were clapping and whistling. Mark allowed himself a slow laugh. He sounded like Lurch from the Addams Family. He continued talking for the next 15 minutes or so. He broke up the audience every time.